Hey YouTube, this is Ebony and I'm back once again with a review for 90 Day Fiance, Season 6, Episode 3, Rough Landings. So I'm going to start off talking about Jay and Ashley. I figured I'll go in order by who gave us the most material this episode and the least material this episode and go on up to who gave me the most. So Jay and Ashley, they are in Montego Bay, Jamaica. They are preparing for the back trip, the return trip back to America. Jay was approved for his fiance visa last episode, so they're preparing to come back and start that process and planning the wedding and things like that. And of course, it's going to be interesting to see when he gets back here and he has to meet Ashley's family. I noticed that Ashley has done a good job of keeping her kids off the camera, so I want to see how. I want to see if we're going to get to see a chance of him interacting with the kids, because I think that's going to be a big thing when you're choosing a spouse and you have children. You want to see how they're going to interact with your children, and I'm sure us as the viewers, we would love to see how this 20-year-old who likes to hump the floor all the time, how he interacts with her children as well. While we're there, we get an opportunity to meet Mr. Pussyskins. Who is Pussyskins, you ask? Pussyskins is Jay's father. Jay's father says he is the original Pussyskins, and don't you forget it. So anyway, Jay talks about how his dad was not really around when he was growing up, but you know, he's kind of a ladies' man. You know, he always has girls around. He was always able to get ladies, so he has a great reputation in their neighborhood. And he talks about how he respects that, and he respects, you know, his dad having that type of reputation, but that's not the lifestyle he wants for himself. I find it very hard to believe that a 20-year-old who is putting this much admiration behind a man who is known for pretty much womanizing. He is admiring the fact that his dad is a womanizer. I find it very hard to believe that that's not something that he is looking up to. That's not something that he would aspire to. So usually when you see traits in other people and that you value, usually people try to strive for those traits as well. So we'll see. You know, Ashley's still saying how, you know, she trusts Jay and, you know, she doesn't think he'll cheat on her. So time will tell. This couple, I really don't care. Then they get back to, we see them land back in Baltimore, Maryland, and they're going to drive back to Mechanicsville, Pennsylvania, where Ashley lives. Ashley tells us that she lives in a predominantly white neighborhood, and Jay tells her, you know, I hope no one calls the cops on me. And Ashley says, well, why would they do that? It is a sad day and a sad time that we live in where black men have to always be afraid. They always have to be afraid of what's going to happen. You could just be standing in your yard. You could be at your car. You could be getting gas. And you always have to be afraid that somebody is just going to see you and see your skin color and become afraid for their lives to the point where they either have to call the cops or they have to shoot you dead. So for her to enter into this interracial relationship and not understand the magnitude and of what it means to be a black man in America drives me fucking crazy. When you enter into an interracial relationship, of course, I mean, I'm not expecting it to be perfect right away, but I feel like she doesn't have the right to be naive anymore. I feel like she needs to open her eyes now. She needs to educate herself, because you plan on marrying this black man. And here you are, this blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. People are going to give you looks. People are going to suspect that he's using you for a green card. People are going to suspect that he's just like some lazy bum that's living off of you. There's going to be all these different reactions that you're going to get. And you're going to have to open up your eyes. You're going to have to see like what's under the surface. You know, don't just take it as a, well, this, you know, I've never seen it before. I didn't think it really happened. Oh, it happens. It's all over the news. There's no way you can ignore it anymore. I think it's real convenient for people who don't have to deal with it to say, oh, I'm a little naive to racism. Yeah, I understand. I understand you have privilege, and this is not something that you have to go through every day. But unfortunately for us, for African American people, anytime we walk out the front door, or any person of color, we have to be afraid, and we have to worry whether we're going to make it back, and especially for our black men. So that's Jay and Ashley. This couple, I still don't know how I feel about this couple. I personally still think that she's a little older for him. Not old, but older. And I feel like he's young and he still has more growing to do, and he's immature. All he wants to do is hump, fuck, drink, and party. And that's what, he's 20 years old. So, that's what he should be doing, and that's what he's supposed to be doing at this time in his life. I'm trying to figure out how compatible they really are. But who knows? Maybe Ashley's kind of immature herself, or maybe he's just what she needs to kind of balance her out. I don't know yet. But for this episode, I really didn't care about either one of them. The next couple we're going to talk about is Olga and Steven. So Steven has made it over to Russia. And he's meeting. Olga meets him at the airport, and it's really sweet. You can tell she's really happy to see him. She's crying, and she is very, very pregnant. So we find out that not only is Olga very, very pregnant, but Olga is actually due in about 9 days. Steven, the sweet 20-year-old he is, said he had it in his mind that because she was doing 9 days, he at least had another week alone with just her. So when she told him that the baby can be due any day now, he was looking so confused. Listen, dear heart, Steven, listen. When a woman is 9 days before her due date, listen, that baby can come any day now, okay? That baby will come when that baby is good and ready. That baby can go beyond nine more days. The baby can come today. The baby can come tomorrow. That baby is going to come when that baby is ready. You cannot put a timestamp on when that baby will come. It was just interesting how little men know about women and pregnancy and our bodies. It's always interesting to me. But so he was talking about how they were dating for about 2 months. It was pretty much a summer fling, like we're aware. And then she got pregnant. And he said that he never considered being serious prior to knowing that she was pregnant. So, pretty much this was a summer fling, and for some reason we forgot to use contraception. We forgot how the condoms work. We forgot how birth control works. We just forgot. We just come over here to another country. We're having fun. The drinks are flowing. We're partying. We're having a good time. And oops, I'm pregnant. Here it is. This guy barely has a place to lay his head at night. And yet he is impregnating women from Russia and applying for 90-day fiance visas. I want to know who is sponsoring her to come. If she comes, because there's a big financial part that goes into this process that we've, from what we've seen. So it must be the grandparents that are helping him out with that. But it's very confusing because on the last episode, he kept talking about how he and his grandmother were not that close. But I'm thinking she's close enough, obviously, to kind of try to help you through this process. Seems seems like a little ungrateful, little bitch boy. We'll see. But anyway. So the apartment, we go to her apartment. He talks about how the apartment's cramped and he doesn't know how things are going to go once the baby comes, and it's going to be an adjustment. You're going to have to just work with the space you have. He pulls a few things out of his luggage, a few things for the baby. I think it was like a cover up for when she breastfeeds, and like a little thing for the baby to lay in. And Olga was just looking. She was like, "Is that it? Like, it's been 9 months. Is that all you came with?" And he says, "Well, we can get some more while we're here. I figure we have time to plan and figure out what things we need." This baby is coming in a few days, any day now. In his mind, he had this all the time in the world. And I'm like, this baby is knocking on the door. Open up. This baby is coming. You need to wrap your head around the fact that you're going to be a dad in any day now. So he talks about how he has no savings and she's in college. So, they're about to travel a new road in life with very little resources. He doesn't have anywhere stable to live. I'm sure grandma is going to come and let him come and stay with her once he gets back to the United States. And of course, in August, she's in college, trying to better herself. So it's going to get interesting and it's going to get stressful because once that baby comes, that baby is going to need attention. That baby is going to need resources. That baby is going to need love. And for these two individuals who do not know each other and who are still learning themselves, it's going to be a rough transition, and it's going to be stressful. Hell, it's stressful for people who have way more together than that, So it's going to be stressful, and I just want to see how they're going to cope with the stress. What we did learn is that over in Russia, not a lot of men are actually in the delivery room with the moms. I did a little bit of research and I found out that some men are starting to ask and get permission to be in the delivery room with the moms, but for the most part, it's still majority of deliveries in Russia is just mom only, and the dad may not see the mom and the baby for a few days. So that was something interesting to learn how, everybody's culture is different and their practices are different. So that's one thing I love about this show is that you get to see the different cultures and you get to see how things are done in other places, because just because you do something your way doesn't mean it's the right way. Moving on. The next couple we're going to talk about is John and Fernanda. I love Fernanda. I love her. I think she is just the sweetest little thing, and my heart just pulls for her. I just want her to find her happiness, and every time she comes on scene, I just want to cry for her. I just want to hug her. I just want to say, baby, go home. Go back home to your mama. Go back home to your brother. Go back home to your sister. Baby, go home. Go home. So we see Fernanda. She's here. She talks about how she's lonely during the day because, of course, Jonathan's working, and she can't work right now. So she's home. She does get together with Jonathan's friend Danny, and they do a little girls' day. They go shopping, and I just want to say this to Fernanda. Danny is John's friend. Danny is not your friend. I want you to remember that. Her loyalty will always be to John, not to you. I want you to always remember that. Because there's a point in the episode where Fernanda is talking to Danny, and she's talking about her experiences of coming to America and the relationship with Jonathan and some of the issues they've been having. And I'm thinking in my head, no. I know you got some homegirls back home that you can FaceTime or text or something, but this is not your friend. This is not who you confide in. This is not who you tell your issues to. Because truth be told, I'm going to be honest with you. Danny give me those vibes like she's been waiting in the cut, waiting for Jonathan to slide on through, and wipe her up. To be quite honest, I don't know if this gives me vibes like maybe they had something in the past. She said they've never dated, but that don't mean they never fucked. So, I don't know. I'm not really feeling Danny. She seems opportunistic. Like she seems like one of those snakes in the grass that you just gotta watch. They will sit there and let you cry your heart out to them, all their pain, and they will pat you on the back, and before you know it, they sliding in while you at the store. They sliding in while you at work. So, you just gotta be careful about those snakes. So, but we see her crying and she's talking about, she's just alone. She's alone in America. Jonathan's gone, and she's just afraid that he hasn't truly given up those bachelor ways. And, it's just time's going to tell. Time will tell. We haven't seen anything from Jonathan other than the panties that would suggest anything. And I believe that those could have been old. I really do believe those could have been old. Men are just... They don't think the way we think. They don't think to go through things and filter things and make sure everything's okay. and everything's clean and everything's in place. Plus, he's a bachelor. He's been a bachelor for a long time, so you're just gonna have to be a little patient with him. My only problem, not problem, but my concern for her is that she is so sad. She is so sad. She has left her entire family and she's here, by herself. We see her FaceTiming her mom and her younger siblings, who she is very close to. And her mom, listen, I speak to my mom multiple times a week. I could not imagine being in another country permanently and not being able to see my mom or my siblings and not being able to communicate with them the way I want to or spend time with them. So she's talking to her mom and she asks her mom, because her mom is not going to be able to come over for the wedding. So she asks her mom, are you going to be sad that you can't come to the wedding? And you can literally see the pain in her mom's face. And I'm sitting there like, listen, her family cannot come because they cannot get the visa. It's very expensive. So they cannot come. I thought the best compromise would have been for him to have the wedding over in Mexico so that her family can be there, because he has a better chance of some of his family and friends being able to afford to fly over there. Flying to Mexico is not that expensive. And they could have found a nice resort or a nice Airbnb or something to stay in, but just to give her that, just give her that one special thing. She's her mom's first child, her first girl. Her mom wants to see her get married, and you're taking away these very important moments from her, things that she's never going to get back. I just feel like he should just give her that, and she broke down crying, and she cried so hard, and he hugged her. He said, I would do whatever it is to make you happy. And I'm thinking, nigga, hop on a flight and have the wedding in Mexico. Your friends can decide whether they want to come or not. Sometimes you have to compromise in a relationship. And I feel like he needs to give her this. She's given up all of her life. She's given up her youth to come over here and be with him. So at least just give her that wedding, with her family. So that's Jay and Jonathan and Fernanda. Once again, like I said, I love Fernanda. She's, it's been a few seasons since I've seen characters that I really enjoy on the show, and she is one of those characters that I do like. So we'll see how this goes, but I just hope that she gets her wedding with her family. The next couple we have is Eric and Lita. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I don't like Lita. I don't like her. I don't like her personality. I don't like her demeanor. I don't like the way she speaks. She's entitled. She's spoiled. She's bratty. It seems like she's never had to be responsible for anything, not even her own child. So she is like on my shit list, to be quite honest. So they're out in Philadelphia, and Eric has Lita and her sister and the baby. They're sightseeing in Philadelphia. So he's taking them around and showing them, the things. And they stop to get a cheesesteak. Now, when I tell you, I have never been out with a guy and, three, four of us, we're sharing one cheesesteak. This man has no money. Once again, this man is broke. This man is struggling. This man needs some help. How is he sponsoring this girl to come over here when he can't afford cheesesteaks? He took one cheesesteak and had 4 people share that one cheesesteak. And here she says, well, he doesn't have a lot of money. A lot of money? It don't sound like he had any money. I want to know, is the ex-wife still getting alimony? I want to know if she's getting alimony. I'm thinking she gets alimony, but they just keep talking about the child support. But I wonder if she's getting alimony. But either way, this man is broke. He ain't got no money, and she is gonna be in for a rude awakening if she stays here. Her family is coming over. Her parents are coming over to meet Eric as well, and everybody's making it very clear, if they're not happy with the way things are going, She will not be allowed to stay. Listen, she's 29 years old. The fact that her parents can dictate, or her sister can dictate whether she's allowed to stay somewhere, whether she's allowed to marry somebody, whether she's allowed to make decisions, tells me that she has never been put in a position where she had to be responsible for herself or her child. She has never had to be responsible. She does not know what it means to be an adult. So not only will her coming here be a shock in regards to what she has and what she has access to, it's also going to be a shock for her to have to be responsible and be an adult, be a wife, be a mother. Sweetheart, I don't know if this is the right decision for her. I honestly don't. I honestly don't see how this relationship is going to work out. Not saying because he's broke, but because I think her expectations are not aligned with reality. Eric is in a confessional, and he's saying how, her family, he never led her family on to believe that he was well off, but he also never told them that they weren't. So, it's he's a little tricksy. He's a little tricksy. So we're going to see how it is once the family gets here and they see that damn apartment where clothing and food and everything is thrown everywhere, and they find out that he is sharing an apartment with his adult daughter who is paying half of everything. Mama and daddy ain't going for that. I saw when mama and daddy stepped off that plane that daddy, he gonna be like, oh hell no, you're going back home, because that's what I would say. Anyway, then there's before Lita's parents arrive, we see a scene with her and her sister Raina, and they're sitting there talking about this damn child support once again. Lita says how if Eric paying child support, if it's going to affect what she and her son are able to get, it's going to be a problem. Well, sweetheart, I guess we have a problem. I have a very big problem with you as a woman. Listen, I understand there's a cultural difference, but then understand what the hell he's saying. This is not an option. Paying and taking care of your child is not an option. I wish people stop thinking that it is, because it isn't. It's not an option. He has to take care of his child. He is not, to ask him to abandon his responsibilities for his child in order to take care of your child tells me the type of woman that you are. Any woman that would sit there and tell a man not to take care of his child is not a woman. And I don't respect you. So that is why Lita's on my shit list, because, she doesn't understand, and she's not encouraging him to be all that he, to be the father that he needs to be in his child's life. He has to, it's not just going out playing ball or taking your child here and taking your child there. He has to pay child support. That's one of the rules over here. And if he does not, Lita, he can potentially go to jail. He can have his taxes. He could have some taken out his taxes. So there's a lot of different issues, things that go into that. So it's very important that he continues to take care of his child, not only on a human level and a moral level, but also on a legal level. He has to do it. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you have a problem with it, sweetheart, I suggest you go back to Indonesia. Actually, I'm really encouraging you to go back to Indonesia. What do you need me to do to make you go back to Indonesia? Because I really don't like you. I really don't. Her son is the cutest little thing. And he's a cute little kid. But I don't like her. I don't like her. I just don't. Next we have Colt and Larissa. Listen. So last week, Larissa didn't really get on my nerves. She didn't really get on my nerves. But this week, she was just a rude, nasty bitch. Just rude. You do not walk into somebody's house and you're rude. You're rude. She has no filter, and that's the problem. She has to have a filter. You can't talk to that man mama like that. Listen, if it was my mama, you'd have been back on a plane back to Brazil or wherever the hell you came from. So Larissa and Colt, they arrive back to the house. Well, before that, they're in the car. They're still driving from the airport when he took her over to see the Las Vegas sign. And she's complaining. She's complaining. She's complaining. She's complaining. And he said he's getting tired of hearing her damn complaining. See, one thing about Colt, he's a little weird. He's a little, off. But he's no pushover. What I've noticed is he is no pushover. He stands his ground. When he says something or when he feels something, he says it and that's it. It's no back and forth. If you don't like it, he's like, oh well. I can respect that. I really can. So they get to the house and the mom's there and she greets them and she's all excited and she starts crying a little bit. I'm not sure if these are tears of joy of finally meeting Larissa, or she is crying at the fact that knowing this lady is going to be here with her baby and taking up all her time. Mama cannot deal with it. Mama is like, why did this bitch have to come? Why did you find this bitch? You are mine. You are mine. We have been together. We are thick as thieves. I don't want no new friends. No new friends. Mama's not happy with it. But anyway, so when they come into the house, Larissa, she looks around and she looks around at the cords. It's a little wonky, but if I look at the mom and I would look at Cole, I would think that's the type of decoration they would have in their home. I'm not surprised that they have stuffed snowmen standing up and things like that. But she walks in and she goes, "Oh, no couch. There's no couch in the living room." And so they say, Cole says, I left it like that. I wanted you to come in and be able to pick out the couch that you wanted. And the mom says, we left the walls bare and everything so that you can come in and you can decorate things the way you want to. So you can feel like this is your home, which is great. That's very nice. Then she talks about, the mom tells her that she cooked. No, let me back up. She sits down and she tells them, this house is too small. It's too small. We need a new house. One with a pool. Larissa, let me ask you a question. Where were you living at before you came to America? Did you have a big old house with a pool? Is that what you had? If so, you can take your ass back. Because you know what I don't like is ungrateful motherfuckers. Don't come over here and sit in this man and this woman's face and tell them pretty much what they have is not good enough. What they're working for and what they've saved up for, you don't know their struggle. You don't know what they've been through. Where they are right now is not good enough for you. Who the fuck did you think you were marrying? I don't know I want to go back and see where Larissa was living. I want to see how her family's living. And she also she makes these comments. The mom says that she cooked some beef stew, and Larissa's looking like, oh yeah, I don't know fucking beef stew. And if I was to be honest, I don't want that damn beef stew neither. Now, Mama caught when people come in from another country and they're coming to for their first time here, they're welcome dinner. Nobody wants no motherfucking beef stew. And I'm be honest with you, when I seen Cole eating it, it looked like some cat food. I don't know. Maybe she mixed a little cat food in there. I don't know. I've heard things. I've heard some strange things go on sometimes with cat people. So it didn't look appetizing to me. The motherfucking beef stew. But knowing Larissa, she probably thought they were going to go out. They were going to go to a nice fancy restaurant and dinner and a night out on the town. And I think Cole should take her out on a date night. But she's going to have to learn to be grateful. She's going to have to learn some tact. And she's going to have to learn to not be a bitch to his mom. She's coming off a little too strong too soon. Not saying that she needs to be an ass kisser, because I'm not an ass kisser. I don't have time to kiss anybody's ass. I'm going to let you know that now. You either like me or you don't. But she is coming on to the point where she's kind of like challenging the mom in a way where it's like, hey, I'm here. I'm the queen now. Back up. It's a little too strong. You still need to build a relationship with the family as well. Mom does need to step back a little bit, but it's going to be a transition period. It's going to be, and you got two women in the house. It's going to be a transition period. The next morning, first of all, these damn cats. These cats are everywhere. You got the cats up in the closet. You got this fat ass cat up under the bed, in the bed. And Larissa is not feeling these damn cats. She said that cat is too fat. It's about 200 pounds. And don't give the cat no love in the bed, because if you give the cat love in the bed, the cat gonna think it's okay to stay. Larissa ain't feeling these cats. Now I don't know. Carp might let you be rude to his mama, but you keep fucking with his cats, he gonna have to hurt you. So you better watch out. You better watch out. I'm telling you. So the next couple we have is Asuelu and Kalani. Let me just say this. Asuelu is the sweetest man that I've seen on 90 Day Fiance thus far. And I want him to win. What I want him to do is get his visa, get his green card, get settled in his career, and leave Kalani and her hateful ass family behind. Take care of your child, but leave that hateful bitch and her family behind. Oh, they are the most disrespectful people. I mean, this man has not done anything so far. I need this family to put some of this responsibility back on their daughter. You know, he didn't get her pregnant. Like, he didn't go and rape her. The bitch opened up her legs to some man that she didn't know on a damn beach and got pregnant. But yet, you know, everybody's mad at Asuelu. We see the scene where they're on the beach, and, you know, he's just taking in the sights. He's just happy to be in America, and he's seeing new things. He didn't, you know, the beach is free, and, you know, it's just different. You know, it's different. It's just like when we go on vacation, we go somewhere else. It's different. We're happy to see it. We want to, you know, learn more. So he's talking, and he starts to cry. And they're talking about him meeting her family. He starts to cry and get emotional, discussing how he's not sure if her family feels like he's too young, or if he's not good enough for her. And you know what, Asuelu, baby? This is what I'm going to tell you. Kalani don't think you're good enough for her. She don't. Every time I see Kalani on the screen, you know, I think of a woman who I think she feels like she's doing him a favor. That's the vibe she gives me. She and her hateful ass family, they feel like she's doing him a favor. We see a scene where they're having this family dinner with the family, with the father, and that father, I'm gonna tell you something. I couldn't do it. Because I'd have been like, who the hell do you think you're talking to? You're not talking to me like that. See, I'm a big fan of, if you want respect, you have to give respect. And that father gave no respect. Because Asuelu wasn't coming at him in any disrespectful tone. He wasn't coming at him. He was talking in his sweet, you know, regular voice. So for the dad to come at him so hard and so harsh, I was just like, wow. Would you like it if your daughter was over in another country and somebody's family spoke to her that way? Treat him the same way you would want somebody to treat your child, with some respect and some compassion. I mean, they're acting like this boy went out and murdered somebody. He had a baby with your daughter, with your consenting 29-year-old daughter. And that sister, she is on my shit list this week. When she said that since the baby's been born, she's been the father figure in his life. She's been a father figure, and she doesn't think it's right that Asuelu comes over here and think he can just become a father. Newsflash, bitch, he is the father. You were never the father figure. You were the aunt. You were the aunt helping your sister. That's what you were. I would never tell one of my siblings, well, I was being the father figure. No, I was not. I was the auntie. That's what you are. You the auntie. You were helping your sister in a tough time. You were helping her to adjust to being a single mom in the United States because she chose to put herself in that fucking position. He didn't force her to get pregnant. She's 29 years old. You know how your body works by now. And if you don't know, then I'm going to need you to take your ass back to the gynecologist and figure it out. How dare you try to make this man jump through fucking hoops to be with his child because you're upset? Does her sister have a man? Does she have a job? What does she do with herself where she needs to sit around all damn day and be worried about Kalani and her damn relationship? Get yourself some fucking business is what you need to do. And then Kalani, she is so passive. Oh, he is going to have to prove himself that he can take this position away from. I don't have to prove a motherfucking thing. My DNA proves that I'm the father. Who the fuck these bitches? See, Asuelu, no matter what you do, it will never be good enough for that family. It will never, because in the beginning they told you what they wanted. They wanted them a nice white rich man, and you don't meet none of that criteria. And it sucks. Because, like I said, I think he's a really sweet guy. You saw the baby warming up to him now and reaching for him and grabbing him. That is his child. Regardless of how you feel about it, that is his child. And he has not done anything to hurt that child. And I see Kalani all over the internet. Every time the episode comes on, she's on the internet. She's defending her family and their fuck shit. Kalani ain't no different. And I don't like this family. I don't like them. I don't respect them. I think there's some self-hatred going on. And they feel like they're better than him. Why? Because he's coming from Samoa and he was over there working and he did not come from a life where he had as much as you guys. But remember, your dad started there too. It's really funny how you see people who come from another country, and once they get in and once they get their stuff together, then they want to act like, oh, no more. Where was that same energy when you was trying to come over here and build a life for your family? It don't work that way. It's you, I get mine, and fuck you. You don't need to get yours. That man ain't did nothing wrong to them. You want to be mad at somebody? Be mad at Kalani. Quiet as it kept, Kalani wasn't no fucking virgin either. I will never believe it. I would never believe it that Kalani took her ass over there to Samoa, met this nigga, busted open, got pregnant, and brought her ass back. No, the way Kalani acts, the way how she's so passive with her family, and how she lets them dictate her life, Kalani's been doing what she was doing. This time is she got caught up with it. And she didn't want to tell her family the truth. Because the same way she lied to that sister about whether he cheated on her or not, Kalani's a liar. And I don't believe a word that comes out her mouth. So, that's my review for this this episode. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Let's have a conversation down in the comments below. Who is your favorite couple right now? How do you feel about Kalani and her family and their reaction to Asuelu? What are your opinions about Court and Larissa and the way she came off with his mom? Do you think the mom was overreacting? Do you think Larissa was overreacting? Let's just have a conversation down below. And I'll see you again next week.